You are watching VHSTV right now as the Delaware Terriers are entering to take on your Voorhees Vikings. Delaware is 2-0 on the year, having a win over North Plainfield. The Vikings are having lost to Warren Hills and having beaten Delaware Livingston with a 24-17 score. Delaware has just entered the field. The stage is set. Players are ready. It's a beautiful night. Let's play some football.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Richard Pregame Field on the campus of Voorhees High School for tonight's game between the Terriers under head coach Mike Howley and your Voorhees Vikings under head coach Ricky Kurtz.
Will Letters has just entered the field. He was the starting quarterback last week, but he was injured around the second quarter. Vikings are going to be quarterback tonight by he's a run-centric quarterback. They picked up 250 rush yards last week to only 48 in the air. So we'll be looking for a ground and pound game tonight. Right now, the Vikings are walking.
We are celebrating the Junior Vikes football program. So at this time, we'd like to take a few moments to recognize those three teams. First up is the Flag football squad. Head coach Alex Andrews, assistant coaches Jessica Mateo, Mark Couture, Craig Manera, and Nick Diamore. Jessica Mateo and Mitchell Cooper. And the 14U squad, head coach Kevin Hoffer, assistant coaches Joe Trampetola, Kevin Mulrooney, Chris Saxa, and Peter Galladay.
Vikings are getting ready to enter the field. The student section is fired up. It's a good night for football. Come the Vikings. The He'll be led on the field by Isaac Levinson, the quarterback who came last week after Will Letters was injured. Isaac is a heavily run center quarterback. He picked up 248 yards on the ground last week, as opposed to only 30 in the air. Captains are meeting for the coin toss right now, as you can see.
For the Vikings, number 7, Hunter Crime, number 8, Will Letters, number 4, Mike Moser, and number 60, Brody Shane.
Vikes are captained by Hunter Cryan, Justin Wastuba, Mike Mosier, and Emerson Donnell. There's the coin toss. It appears the Terriers have won. I'm sorry, the Vikings have won. Terriers have elected to defend the north end zone. And the Vikings have elected to receive the opening kickoff.
This time, would you please rise and remove your caps as the Voorhees Viking marching band under the direction of Aiden Gianelli will honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
It's a beautiful anthem by our marching band. Now all the pieces are in place and we are ready to play some football. And the Vikings are lined up to receive the kickoff.
It'll be Jack Bill to kick for the Terriers.
Jack Cohn will be kicking for the Terriers. And we are off. Mickey Trapattouille receives the kick. He's made it to the 25. Decent return for the Vikings. It appears they have reached it to the 24.
Anderson off. On the stop, a return of 24 to the Voorhees 25-yard line. Will be first and 10 for Vikes.
Vikings will start the series with a first and 10 as the offense trots onto the field. Quarterback is in the shotgun, drops back to pass, fires a quick shot, makes it to about the 30-yard line, but is pushed back. We'll get about 5 yards after forward progress.
Nick Patino and Pat Garlinghouse on the tackle. A gain of 5. Second and 5 at the 30.
Quarterback is again lined up in the shotgun. Goes to hand off the throw, but goes to hand off the ball, but the running back comes on the wrong side, and Will Letters is sacked. About a 5-yard loss. It will be a 3rd and 9 for the Vikings. Will Letters is again lined up in the shotgun. 4 receivers wide. Goes to throw the ball. He is nearly sacked, scrambles out, runs and slides down at about the 31-yard line. It'll be a 6-yard game. 4th and 4 for the Vikings, and they will likely punt the ball. You can see now the punting team coming onto the field. It's an interesting first series for the Vikings. Rather paradoxically, the pass game seemed to have worked rather well, with Will Letters being able to scramble out of the shotgun after receiving pressure. While the run game, however, was quickly stuffed at the line and is likely the reason that they will be punting now. Be interesting to see if that continues, as the run game was their strongest feature last week against a strong Governor Livingston run defense. Trapattouille kicks the kick is received at the 40-yard line, and he is quickly stuffed. Terriers will start at about the 42-yard lines. Looks to be at about a 2-yard return. Terriers have a high-scoring offense. They have averaged over the last 2 games 42.5 points per game. It would be interesting to see how the Voorhees defense can contain them. Vikings lined up in what appears to be a 4-3. 4 linemen on the line and 3 linebackers deep. Delaware is in the shotgun. They hand the ball off. It's about decent yard of, say, 7, 8 yards, and then he is stuffed.
On the carry. On the stop. Game 8, second and 2 for 9.
Drops back to pass, and he gets the first down, but is quickly tackled. It'll be a 1st and 10 for the Terriers, about a 7-yard gain again.
Bill's pass is complete to number 2, Jaden Forden. He's rushed out of bounds with 10, Ryan McGinnis. A gain of 6 to the Voorhees 43-yard line, 1st and 10 down that.
He hands the ball off, and he is quickly stopped at the line for about a 2-yard gain. 1 or 2 yards. It was an outside run. That was a beautiful defensive play by the Vikings, allowing their corners to get to the side and not being fooled by the play action.
A gain of 1, 2nd and 9 at the 33.
Quarterback lines up with the shotgun. No one in the backfield. 5 receivers on the wings. Certainly a pass play. Unloads it. Gets about a decent 7-yard gain. About a 3rd and 1 for the Terriers. Be a 3rd and 3 for the Terriers. You got to wonder what they're going to do here now. There's an empty set in the backfield. It appears they're going to throw it. And nice little bubble screen to the left, and he missed tackle, and he is stopped short of the line. You got to wonder what the Terriers are going to do here. They're about say 52-yard field goal. That's probably far outside their range. It's a 4th and short. They're likely going to line up to go and try to go for it. That is what they will do. Once again, the quarterback is lined up with no one in the backfield. Vikings showing blitz on the line, comes across, fakes the handoff, and he rushes for the 1st down, and he will score. That will be a touchdown for a Terrier on a gutsy 4th and 1 call. The quarterback run.
A 34-yard.
Covers about 35 yards on the carry. That's something that the Vikings have to look out for. Looking at Delaware coming into this game, you knew that they had a scrambling quarterback who was capable of doing something like that. Be interesting to see how they adapt after this quick score. There's a snap, and it is almost blocked, but sails through for the 1 point. PAT is good. Terriers up 7-0. There's 6:46 left on the clock, and the Terriers will kick off to the Vikings again. It'll be interesting to see how the Vikings respond to this. In the last 2 games, you've seen a tale of 2 teams. Livingston last week, they were able to bounce back and win, and end up winning a slugfest 24-7 with a strong run game. But going down early to Warren Hills, they eventually capitulated 1 week earlier, and they lost 40-0. Be interested to see which team will show up today. They will squib it. Lineman, he takes the ball, runs to about the 35 and is quickly tackled. Decent return for the Vikings. 5 yards, that's 5-yard return, that's 10 yards better than they started with last drive. You got to wonder what why the Terriers decided to do that there. They could have easily pushed him back. This is about the field position that the Terriers started last drive when they were able to score, so we'll see if the Vikings can do the same. Will Letters lines up in the shotgun with the running back to his right. One running back in the backfield, 4 men wide in the receiving. And he drops back to pass, pressure coming, it is tipped, and the ball is caught after the tip and run for about a 5-yard gain. So far in this game, it seems that's the plays that the Vikings have been able to convert, 5-yard short plays, and that's a winning formula right there. Hopefully that can continue. The run game is not as active as we would have anticipated coming into this, considering they ran their entire offense through that last week. Letters once again lines up in the shotgun, running back to his left. 1 man in the wing, 3 men wide. Drops back to pass. Beautiful blocking, and he scrambles for about a 3-yard gain. That'll set up about a 3rd and 4. You ask the Voorhees offense what they would like to have right now. This drive is going pretty well so far. They've got short chop plays that set up thirds and shorts. These are the plays that they're able to convert. Let's see if they can convert it here. Merge from the huddle, same formation as last time. Will Letters in the shotgun, running back to his left, 3 men wide. 1 man in the wing. Takes the snap, running back moves into the I formation, hands it off, and he is quickly stuffed at the line. That will be another 3 for the Vikings. The punting team comes out now. There's Logan Blake deep to receive the kick at about the 25-yard line. Ball snapped a little high, well fielded by the punter. It's a high kick, and it is fair caught at the 25-yard line. Your Voorhees right now, you got to be happy with that punting job right there. It's a high kick, he received it, and he was able to pin the Terriers relatively deep. This drive, the Vikings were able to put up a relatively staunch defensive effort until a conversion, 35-yard run on a 4th and 1 ended up setting up a touchdown. Terriers are in the I formation with 4 men wide in the wide receiving core. Vikings look to be showing blitz, and they are backing off of it now. It'll be a run, and he slices through the defense. He is running, he is at the 50, the 40. It's another missed tackle. It's another missed tackle, and he is eventually, and he will go in for the score. You're the Voorhees defensive staff right now. You can't be happy with that. Counted about 5 missed tackles on what should have been a routine run. Voorhees student section seems a little deflated now. Receive the kick, and it is and bounces off the upright and goes in. It is still good.
And the goal point after is good. And the Terriers increase their lead to 14.
And the Terrier band is, for some unknown reason, now playing the Notre Dame Victory March. It's a good song, but I'm not sure if it totally fits their school. The Vikings, once again, line up with 2 men deep to receive the kick. If you're the Vikings offensive staff right now, you got to be looking for a big chunk play here. Student section seems a little deflated, and a good return would really liven them up. And it is a high booming kick, fielded at the 5-yard line. There he goes. And Victor Travatulo sheds around 3 tackles. He returns it to the 37-yard line. That is exactly what the Voorhees Vikings needed.
He's brought down number 18, Jack Hill.
Student section is slightly more energized now. That should hopefully, for a short time at least, swing some measure of momentum to the Vikings. And maybe they can capitalize on this good field position with a good offensive drive here. Letters is once again lined up in the shotgun. Running back to his left, 4 men wide. And he fakes the handoff, rushes for about 3 yards. Good choice on the read action. He picks up about 3 yards on that one.
On the tackle. A gain of 2, 2nd down and 8. At the Vikings 30.
Vikings lined up in the I formation. 2 men, 1 in the wing. Tight end on the left. And he will take the ball, picks up about another 3 yards.
Isaac Levitano on the tackle. Sam Thomas on the tackle.
Looking at about a 3rd and 6 here. 3rd and long is not exactly the position the Vikings offense wanted to be in on this. They've shown an ability to convert these kinds of plays, getting mid-range yardage. They will likely go with the pass here. The Letters takes the snap. Pressure is coming and he loads it. A monster block. There's a monster block that allows a gain of about 30 yards. Now that is about a beautiful block by Kyle Jamison. That facilitates the run. For an offensive coordinator, you got to like what you're seeing there.
Gain of 19 on the play. That is good.
Letters reacts, jumps it off, and brings up the largest play for the Vikings so far in this game. Letters sees the snap. He fakes the handoff on the read option, gets out to the 30-yard line. Beautiful choice again by Will Letters. Nothing else. You got to admire Will Letters' decision making on those last three plays. Good job reading the offense, dumping the ball when he's under pressure to a good receiver. And the Vikings have gotten 2 straight first downs off of it. We do take a little bit for the Vikings offense to go in, and it seems like it has finally woken up. This is a good sign. There's hands off the ball. It is well blocked, about a 5-yard gain.
Isaac Levitano on the carry. Sam Thomas with the tackle.
Letters takes the snap. And fakes the handoff again, runs for a nice gain of about 3 or 4 yards. Sets up a 3rd and short.
Pat Garland has Sam Thomas on the tackle. A gain of 3 from the Delaware 22.
About 30 seconds left in the first quarter. Vikings will try and get one play out and let the quarter expire. They brought in Isaac Leviton to take the snap. He rushes for a nice gain. He will gain the first down. It's a nice package they have for Isaac Levington on the Wildcat formation. Bringing it in for 3rd and 4th and short.
Delaware 18 and another Vikings snap.
On that good note, the Vikings will let the quarter expire. First quarter's been up and down for the Vikings. They took their offense to wake up, but they seem to have gotten it now. They've got some nice pass plays. The offensive decision making is superb. This is a sign of a mentally strong team. They can go down 2 positions, but they're not out of it. That's a good sign for Vikings fans right there.
Francesca Gassett, Gianna Giamore, Juliana Pascal, Kaylee Timpson, Mackenzie Timpson, Maria Trematola, and Peyton Brazina. How about a big hand for our junior Vike cheerleader? The Voorhees Vikings cheerleaders. We have a chance, hopefully at the first time out.
Vikings will line up for the second quarter. Referee seems to have something to discuss with Will Letters. Takes the ball, hands it off, and he is going. He is off to the races, and he has scored! It was number 34, Mike Moser, the senior. The beautiful run evading tackle. It seems that this Viking offense has woken up. Beautiful run by Moser. Will Letters trots off the field visibly excited. Now it is Matt Bell to take the fan favorite Matt Bell to take the kick. He's been a bit inconsistent, but sources have told me that he is looking good in practice lately. As the student section chants Matt Bell's name. And the kick. Line holds, and it is in. The PAT is complete for Matt Bell. As the band plays, the student section cheers. This appears to be a game after all. Might be difficult to hear, but the energy here is just electric. Hands are full in the student section on their feet. For the first time of the game, Matt Bell lines off to kick off. Student section starts chanting 7th Nation Army. Kick is off. It is a booming kick. Delaware has to go back to receive it, take it about the 50-yard line. And good blocks, and they will return it for a touchdown. Not exactly the special teams coverage you were hoping for. This team has shown a nature to be able to bounce back from adversity before. So. We were told coming into this game that this would be a high-score Terriers offense. This is certainly coming true now. And averaging a score of 42 points per game. They are on track to exceed that for this game. And the kick is good. Powerful kick nearly goes down into the pit.
And the Terrier lead, now 21-6.
Last kickoff return seems to have quieted the student section a wee bit.
Jack Bill kick off for the Terriers. Making sure the goal line to get a speed for the return for Vikings.
There is a low kick. It's received by Mickey at the 15. He sheds some tackles and is eventually taken down about the 23-yard line. See what the Vikings can do with. Last time the Vikings had decent field position. See what they can do with about average field position. Last drive we saw a rejuvenated Vikings offense. We'll see if they can continue that.
It'll be first and 10 points here at 23.
Their run game seems to have opened up. As Will Letters is in the shotgun to receive the snap. 3 wide receivers wide, 1 running back, and 2 handed. Be a loss of about 1 yard, it appears.
Mike Mosier on the carry. And Weinhold.
Mosier on the carry.
On the tackle.
There's been no yards gained or lost on the play. They will set up for a 2nd and 10. Letters to receive the snap. There's one. And he looks for a short pass. He dodges one defender. And is then taken down. And see where the spot is. That is a Vikings first down. Beautiful play, beautiful throw by Will Letters.
A gain of 12.
Wide receiver about 2 yards after the catch. That's what you want to see. Letters drops back to pass, scrambles a little bit, and he will go for the run. He is tackled at the line of scrimmage for a 0-yard gain. So once again, the Vikings set up for a 2nd and 10.
Will Letters on the keeper, Sam Thomas and Logan Blake on the stop. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10 at the 35.
Set. 4 men wide. Letters takes the snap, running back a bit past him. Letters goes back, two-handed running back, and he is stuffed well past the line. Mike Mosier on about a 2 or 3 yard loss right there. No, they will spot it at the line of scrimmage. So Mosier managed to claw back to the line of scrimmage. Letters drops back to pass and unleashes a rocket, and it falls short. Hunter Crime was the intended receiver, falls about 3 yards short, and the Vikings will set up to punt. Defense has not been on the field since about halfway through the first quarter. See what an extra rest will give them. After the kick return and 2 long Vikings drives, defense has not been on the field since about halfway through the first quarter. Terriers punt returner not lined up very deep. It's a high snap, and it is nearly blocked, but it is not. And it is a Vikings player, and it is quickly downed by number 33, Brandon Cruzea. Ball will be spotted around the 38-yard line. Lined up the shotgun, fakes the sweep, drops back to pass. It is very nearly sacked, but evades it. Unleashes a bullet of a throw. And the receiver is subsequently tackled about a 20-yard gain. It was good work by the Delaware quarterback right there. Evading the sack, looking downfield, and finding the open receiver. And there's a jet sweep off to the left side. And the runner is tackled for about an 8-yard gain. 2nd and 2 on the 32-yard line, Pierce. 2nd and 3, I apologize, on the 33. A 7-yard gain. Takes the snap, and the running back is stuffed at the line of scrimmage. That will set up 3rd and 2 for the Terriers. This situation early in the game, they did not convert the 3rd down, and then they rushed for a touchdown on a 4th down try. Vikings defenders have to know here that they're going to be playing for at least 2 downs if they make this stop. And he hands it off wide, looking for available space, and he eventually takes it. Tackled what appears to be a horse collar, but it appears I am mistaken. That'll take the Terriers ball out to the 20-yard line. Appears to be a little confusion in the backfield. They now have an empty backfield. 4 men deep and the quarterback alone in the shotgun. Takes the snap, unloads to pass, has his man, and he is tackled before the ball comes out.
Jackville's pass is complete to the 10 Nick Patino.
Appears to be about a 9-yard game. 8-yard game will set up a 2nd and 2 for the Terriers.
Gain of 7 will be 2nd down and 3 at the Voorhees 14. And the Vikings call their first timeout of the first.
Vikings will call a timeout with 5 minutes left in the quarter.
Introduce you to the Voorhees varsity cheerleaders. The freshmen, Destiny Ganalt, Abigail Raypack, Tara Voorhees, and Evelyn Renwick. The sophomores, Maggie Anderson, Elena Everly, Anthony Hart, Carson Loescher, Tito Lyons, Abigail Polo, Paige Schweider, and Sophie Woodruff. The juniors, Deanna Otero, Ella DeFazio, Grace Garofalo, Whitney Levy, Lauren Pollock, Maddie Ramos, and Kelly Russo. The seniors, Joey Bronco, Daphne Evans, J.R. Hart, Natalie Joasis, Bethany Kaduyu, Zoe Olson, Cameron Rich, and Cassie Seaver. The ladies, the team manager is Amy Nicole and Megan Garofalo.
Back 2nd and 2, 14 yards to the end zone for the Terriers. Lining up with what appears to be an empty backfield. 3 men wide on the left, 1 in the wing on the right. Comes through and fakes the jet sweep, and the quarterback rushes himself. Vikings very nearly stop him in the backfield. It appears that he has run for a first down.
Jack Bill on the keeper, Corey Edwards, and Isaac Leviton on the tackle.
And that will move the chains. No, it will not move the chains.
The gain of 4 to the Voorhees 10-yard line, and he's first and goal.
Yes, it will. Gain of 4 for the Terriers. That sets up a first and goal at the 10-yard line. And there is a timeout called. It appears by the Terriers. Here's that Perk is talking to the Vikings defense right now. And the Terriers come back onto the field. An empty backfield for the Terriers. 2 men in the wings, 2 tight end set. Wide receiver comes across and they go for the jet sweep and he is stuffed at the line.
Jaden Corbin on the carry. Zagleticon Ragnata on the tackle.
Be a 2-yard gain, set up a 2nd and goal, 8 yards from the goal line. Now, with about 4 minutes left in the game, if the Vikings can get a stop here, it could be a real momentum shift. Force the Terriers perhaps to go for it on 4th down and drive the ball go into the locker room, down only 1 possession. They will take momentum into the half. Unloads to throw, and he is in for the touchdown.
Jack Bill's pass is complete.
Suppose that's wrong.
Touchdown.
I told you earlier the Terriers are scoring about 43 points a game. They appear to be outpacing that rate. It's an explosive Terrier offense. And the kick is good. That will make 28-6 Terriers. Terriers line up for the kick. Vikings have about 2 men deep on the 5-yard line. And it is a low kick. It is wobbly. Bounces into the arms of the receiver. And he stopped at the 20-yard line. Receiver on that, Brandon Kanzea. Fields the bouncy kick and is stopped at the 20-yard line. It's a bit of a difficult kick to recover there. Ball we spotted at the 21-yard line. Vikings are in a shotgun set. Terriers have 4 men on the defensive line. See the kick, pressure comes, and the ball is unloaded. And he runs about a 12-yard gain, runs about 7 yards after contact, which is rather impressive. Eventually the Terriers do take him down at the 38. If you're Ricky Kurtz right now, you got to be keeping an eye on the clock. It's about 3 minutes left. You're good right now, but if you're going for those short gains, eventually you'll start whittling it down. And it appears to be offsides on the Terriers. First penalty of the game. The penalty flag flies.
Flag on the play. It is encroachment against the Terriers. A 5-yarder will be second. Correction, 1st and 5.
That will set up a 1st and 5 for the Vikings. This gives them room to maybe take a shot downfield and spend their next 2 plays. Make it up those 5 yards. Terriers rush 4 and they stuff the running back at the line. Loss of about 2 on the carry, a 2nd and 7.
And Matt Schneider, a loss of 1, will be 2nd and 6 at the 40.
And he takes it, hands it off, runs to the outside, breaks one tackle, breaks two, and he eventually comes down at the Delaware 47-yard line. Nice gain of about 12 on the play. Crucially gets out of bounds.
A 13-yard to the Delaware 47-yard line. Another Viking.
Line up on the 47-yard line, and this is the second time that they have stepped foot inside Delaware territory. Taking the snap, unloads for a long pass. It is overthrown on what appears to be pass interference and is pass interference on Delaware. That is textbook pass interference. Reaching his arm over the shoulder. It's another flag. And it appears it has come to life again. Vikings seem to be setting up a nice drive here. If you're the Delaware defensive staff, you got to be a little worried about these mistakes. The Vikings have received most of the yards actually on penalty yardage. About 30 yards this drive on the penalties. As they set up from the Delaware line. Delaware shows 4 on the line. Will Letters lines up in the shotgun. It will bring 4. Blocking is efficient, and it is just outside. Ball is just outside Ryan McGinnis' reach. That is a shame because McGinnis had a break there. Set up a 2nd and 10. The minute 41 left on the clock. The Vikings have been pretty efficient getting down the field, so I don't think they need to be too worried about the clock right now. McGinnis lines up in the shotgun, running back to his left. 1 man wide, 2 in the wing. And he evades the sack for a while, but is eventually brought down after the slightly boggled snap. That will predictably precipitate a Vikings timeout.
A loss of...
Appears to be a loss of 3 on the sack.
The Vikings call their second.
Vikings set up in the I formation, 1 running back behind Will Letters. Ryan McGinnis wide on the right. And the wing, 1 on the left. Ball snap, drops back to throw. It is an accurate ball. Not the needed yardage, but theoretically puts them on 3rd down. By McGinnis.
A gain of 9 to the Delaware 29-yard line. It'll be 4th down and...
The gain of 9, 4th and 6. The Vikings have elected to go for it. This is an integral moment in this game. This could be a turning point moment. Drop back to pass. Delaware brings blitz and down. And that would be a turn for defense. Vikings had a good drive going there until they were until they were eventually sacked
The Vikings turn it over
the first time.
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Terriers at their own 30-yard line.
Got to look to see if the Terriers will try to run out the clock or will try to put points on the board. Quarterback lines up the shotgun formation, 5 men wide. And he will, a high arching pass, and it is a diving catch for number 11, Logan Blake. That is a beautiful catch. It appears in the matter of 2 minutes, the Terriers have shifted the momentum from a Voorhees drive to take it within the Voorhees zone.
Gain of 36 makes 1st and 10.
See the ball on the 35-yard line. And he receives the snap, drops back to pass, and after facing pressure. Sheds 1 tackle, sheds another, and he is eventually pushed out of bounds at about the 22-yard line. With 52 seconds on the board, you got to be worried that the Terriers can do some real damage here.
Is out of bounds at the Voorhees 24-yard line. A gain of 11, 1st and 10, Terriers.
And he receives the snap. Fires a bullet pass to number 2, but he trips and is unable to receive the ball. Jaden Corbin, the receiver, is incomplete. That stops the clock and sets up a Terrier second. Quarterback is once again in the shotgun with an empty backfield. And delivers a laser to Jaden Corbin. He is tackled crucially inbounds by the Vikings defense, but the Terriers will take a timeout. Sets up a 3rd down for the Terriers. You got hope here for the Vikings that a stout defense here can set up, at least keep the game relatively close going into the half.
The Terriers take their 2nd timeout.
Terriers until this point have been driving down the field, although they do find themselves with a 3rd down, albeit short. We'll see here if the Vikings can stop them. Quarterback will line up in the I formation. 1 tight end set, 2 guys wide. He will take the snap. He will fake the handoff, rolls out to the right to pass. Unloads a laser to a wide open number 7, Justin Colpin, but it is a bit wide. And the Vikings avoid that. The Vikings avoid the score for right now. That is luck for the Vikings if I have ever seen it. It was wide open, uncovered in the end zone, and the ball goes high. Sets up an interesting 4th and 5 for the Terriers. It appears that they will go for it. Though one wonders if they will just try and draw the Vikings off sides, considering they do still have 1 timeout left. Oh, I'm sorry, they will attempt the field goal. And the snap. And it sails in for the Terriers. Gotta wonder what Ricky Kurtz's squad is gonna do here. 24 seconds down, 31-6. Will they receive the ball and take a knee, or will they try and do a shot or two towards the end zone?
Maria Giraldo of Delaware, if you would please make your way over to the ramp near the entrance of the gymnasium at this time. Maria Giraldo, please make your way over towards the school to the entrance ramp near the gymnasium. Thank you.
Voorhees fans are unfortunately conscious of the NJSA 40-point mercy rule, and you got to wonder if that's starting to lurk in the back of their minds. Rule that they saw against Warren Hills just 2 weeks ago tonight. Jack Bill is the kicker, quarterback and the kicker. It's a high spinning kick. It's fielded by, and McGinnis takes a return back to the 25. That'll put 17 seconds on the board. Certainly not nothing for the Vikings. There's time to work with there if you could take a quick shot and then perhaps get a field goal out of it. We'll see what Ricky Kurtz will elect to do here.
A 23-yard return will be first and 10. Vikings at their own 26.
It's at the 26 there. They do set up in the shotgun, clearly seeking to go for a long shot. And he will run the ball, receiving decent blocking. And he is tackled with 10 seconds left on the board. Goes to the 40-yard line. A good run by Will Letters, certainly. And the Vikings will take a timeout to freeze the clock. That leaves them one timeout. They can say get a decent gain on this play in a short enough amount of time, perhaps going out of bounds. They can set up Matt Bell to kick a field goal to bring the score to 9. Or if they so choose, they have about enough time for 2 shots at the end zone with their one timeout. Pressure is beginning to be on for them to score to make this a competitive game again. The Letters will line up in the high formation. 4 men, not wide, relatively in the wing. Running back to his right, or his left, I apologize. Drops back to pass. Unloads a short pass to Mike Mosier, who takes it to the Delaware 48 line for a screen pass, but that is the end of the half. Your score at the half, Delaware, the Voorhees Vikings 6. It's an interesting game because the Vikings have spurts of offense as they walk to the locker room now. They've shown an ability to All right, as the marching band comes onto the field now, we will take a short break for halftime. We will see you again in about 15 minutes when the second half starts. See if the Vikings can come back from this deficit. Perfect. Not good.
This year's drum majors are Tristan Never and Mary Kate Tomasano. Band president is Nina Fosbrook. Band spirit leaders are Matt Giovanni and Noah Reiser. The color guard captain is Jill Iannaci. Tonight the band will perform a portion of their 2021 field show, Sweet Dreams. The performance will begin with sophomore saxophonist Tristan Dornbus rolling a guard soloist senior Jill Iannaci. Recite with bombs So best of luck tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who purchased 50/50 tickets as you're entering tonight's game, if you would please get them out at this time with a full tonight's winner momentarily. Tonight's winning 50/50 ticket number 905648. Once again, tonight's winning 50/50 ticket number 5648. Tonight's pot is $532.50, and it appears as though we have a winner.
I'm back here. As you just saw, the Delaware Terriers have retaken the field. As you go into the second half, you got to wonder how the Vikings, what kind of adjustments Ricky Kurtz has just made in the locker room. We've seen a Delaware offense that is stout, and we knew it was going to be stout. There have been flashes of brilliance from Voorhees. Their offense has looked good at times, and the defense has put up stops, but not mounted anything. The building blocks are there for a Voorhees win. They just need to maintain their mental toughness, and they have so far. As the Voorhees Vikings re-enter the field. We are at about 2.5 minutes to the second half kickoff. The Vikings will be kicking off for the Terriers, as they did receive the ball to open the game. As the student section, it appears, has once again come alive. Student section back on their feet, having returned from halftime. About 1.5 until kickoff. Credit to the student section. This score has not diminished their excitement just to have football back. Was, as we know, a tough year without spectators last year. And after having seen the energy they displayed both this week and last week, even traveling the week before to Warren Hills, you got to be impressed by that at least. And the Terriers defending the south end zone, ready to receive the kick from the Vikings. As the team starts to triculate to the field to kick off this second half of Voorhees football. Station. Pause for station identification. I am Ian Moore. You are watching Voorhees television. As Matt gets ready to give off the second half kickoff, the student section has come alive. And chanting Seven Nation Army. And the ball is off. It is a low spinning kick, fielded around the 17. Runner tries a bit of misdirection, gets tackled around the 30-yard line. Looked for a second that the receiver was going to hand it off to the other receiver, but I suppose Del Valle does not feel that they are in need of such trick plays at this time. Jack Bill lines up in the shotgun, running back in the other formation. Two men wide on the left, one on the right. High snap, receive, and to the running back. He is stopped short for a 1-yard gain. Now it appears that the Del Valle students seeking to compete with the hometown Vikings. So 2nd and 7, once again I formation in the shotgun. Takes it, drops back to pass. Pressure comes and a low pass was either incomplete or a fumble. It appears it was ruled incomplete. All of a sudden the Vikings have forced a 3rd and long. Gotta wonder whatever that defensive coordinator said in the locker room, but clearly it has worked something. Jack Bill in the empty set. Shotgun, empty backfield, motion, and it is a fake. And the Terriers will run for a decent 1st down after the Vikings bring a blitz. Easy dump off there for Jack Bill. Relatively easy 1st down. Perhaps it was a bit quick spoken earlier. They will set up on the Vikings 49-yard line. Empty set, lines up, and pressure comes. Late hit, and it is broken up. Broken up by number 7, the corner, Hunter Cryan. It was a 50-50 ball, one-on-one matchup. Good throw by the quarterback, but Hunter Cryan was able to get in there and break it up. Gotta observe the Vikings bringing the pressure. That is really the first time they were able to bring such pressure on the quarterback, forcing Jack Bill to unload it earlier than perhaps he might have preferred. It's again Jack Bill, empty backfield. Across, fakes the handoff, and the run himself. And he is stopped short of the line for what appears to be a 3-yard loss. Pushing it back into Del Valle territory, setting up what appears to be a 3rd and very long. 3rd and 13. What was a wonderful series of plays for the Voorhees defense, bringing pressure and breaking up the pass, and then, as you can see, dropping the back loss. As Jack Bill once again up in the I formation. Bit of a high snap, but he receives it. Throws, and it is an easy throw to a relatively wide open Jaden Corbin. I was talking earlier about mental toughness. The Voorhees defense seems to be doing very well on 1st through 2nd down, but come 3rd down, Jack Bill seems to be able to find holes. as the Terriers look to the sideline to receive their play. They line up shotgun. 4 wide receivers, 1 running back. And he receives the snap, hands off to the running back, and he is stuffed for about a 2-yard gain.
On the carry, Jack Moser on the tackle.
You'll notice the Terriers seem to be resorting to the run a bit more than they were in the first half, I'm sorry. One has to wonder if they are already trying to run out the clock on this Voorhees team. Bill runs for the speed option, elects to keep it, and waltzes right into the end zone for another Delaware Valley score. That is a touchdown for the Terriers.
Touchdown, Terriers. A 23-yard touchdown run from number 18, Jack Bill.
The snap for the PAT, and it sails through the uprights. Going back, rolling into the... Just to give an idea of the power on that ball. It appears one poor Terriers player has to go receive it, climb over the gate and into the reeds. Like the Voorhees student section seems a little deflated, still on their feet, but deflated. There's a forlorn-looking Mr. Kelly leaning on the bar with his goatee.
Italian and ham and cheese are currently being sold for $1 or 2 for 2, 3 for 3. Once again, ham and cheese, Italian subs available at the snack bar for just $1. So much for the $5 food.
The Vikings are lined up on the 5-yard line to receive the kick. There's a low spinning kick. Will bounce into Ryan McGinnis's hands, and he stumbles. My apologies, that was Hunter Cryan, not Ryan McGinnis. The Viking offense takes the field. Will Letter lines up in the shotgun with wide receivers to the top of your screen. A running back also to the top of your screen. He hands off, goes to the weak side, and pulls through a respectable gain of about 6 or 7 yards.
A gain of 8 will be second down and 3 for 33.
That will set up a 2nd and 8 for the Vikings. 2nd and 2, I'm sorry, that was a gain of 8 yards. Little Letters in the shotgun. Oh, and he calls an early stop, and he has forced Delaware Valley to jump off sides. There's a flag, and that is number 62, Tim Torrey, with a 5-yard penalty, and that will be a Vikings first down. There's one thing to be disappointed about in Del Valle, and there's not many things. It is disproportionately short penalties as the ball is handed off and he is stuffed behind the line. Mike Mosier, that is. So I'd say Delaware has shown a proclivity to commit penalties, while the Vikings have maintained a relatively clean game.
Nobody on the card. It'll be 2nd and 10 at the 39.
And he hands off the ball. No, he gets the handoff, makes it down to the 50-yard line, and that is another Vikings first down. Such a well-handed off walleye. Well done fake by Will Letters. It even fooled me. Vikings once again putting on the ground game, but given the score differential and the time remaining, you have to wonder if that will be sustainable. Takes the ball, hands it off, and he is stuffed for what can generously be called a 1-yard gain. Set up a 2nd and 9 for the Vikings. Snap is a short run, evades one tackle, evades another. It's another. It's not that 5 yards, but real gains to the 40-yard line on forward progress. Gains about 2 yards on the run after carry, and that's impressive considering the pressure he was under. That will be another Vikings first down. Once again, you're seeing flashes from this Vikings offense. Will Letters lines up in the I formation as the running back moves to the top of the screen. Motion comes across, Letters drops back, and it falls incomplete. Not exactly sure who he was throwing to there. Appears to be a poorly run route on a bubble screen. But Letters did face pressure, and he was forced to unload the ball. Set up a 2nd and 10 for the Vikings as Mike Mosier comes off the field. Letters lines up, 2 wide receivers on either side of the screen. Running back on the top. Hands it off and gets a beautiful run. Gets to the 30-yard line. That was Isaac Leviton on the run in the wild formation. As I said earlier, this run package that they have for Isaac Leviton, it's Rutgers fans akin to a Johnny Langan sort of package. Leviton is a good runner, and he was able to lead the Vikes to a win last week. Leviton lines up behind Will Letters, and he hands the ball off to him. Be a 4-yard gain, will bring up a 2nd and 6 for the Vikings on the 27-yard line. As I said earlier, the Vikings seem to be getting good offensive drives together now, but chunks and chunks of time that they simply do not have. Leviton at the top of your screen. Snap to Letters, he rolls to the left. All the time in the world, throws to a wide open Ryan McGinnis, but the throw is overthrown. That is beautiful separation by Ryan McGinnis, but Letters puts a bit too much touch on it, and it lands out of bounds. Del Valle student section seems to be having some fun at Letters. As Letters lines up for a 3rd and 7 in the shotgun. Gives instructions to receivers. Take motor to his right at the bottom of your screen. There's the snap, he drops back to pass. Throws to Mosier on a nice screen. Here's the Vikings blockers actually got in Mosier's way. And he is stopped about 1 yard short of the first down line. We'll bring up a 4th and very short for the Vikings, and appears to be a 4th and 3 for the Vikings, as Will Letters comes back into the game. The Vikings here forced to go for it. Two men on both sides of the screen. Letters in the shotgun. He takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Mosier, and he runs it. He is off to the races, and he has scored once again for the Vikings on a 23-yard quarterback sneak by Will Letters. A beautiful Letters as Matt sets up to attempt the PAT. He missed one earlier. He is inconsistent, but certainly a fan favorite. You can hear the student section. Probably the celebrity on this team. And he receives the kick. Very nearly blocked, and it sails through, and the student section goes crazy. With more energy than I have seen at any other point in this game. Even Mr. Kelly has managed to crack a smile. As he gives me a little wave with a goatee. Matt Bell lines up for the kickoff for the 3rd time in this game. As the student section, the game is not over. Vikings have 14 minutes to score 25 points. Certainly not impossible, but the defense is going to have to step it up, and the offense is going to have to increase their tempo. It is a short bouncing kick, well fielded by Del Valle. It is about a 12-yard return as he attacks the 3-yard line. Now the point of a kick like that is to make it difficult for the receiver to field. Have a problem with that. Still, Voorhees does stop them short, and only allows them about a 10-yard return, put the ball at the 32-yard line. There are 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Del Valle takes the field. Voorhees, for review of the Voorhees defense, they're running a 4-3 with 2 corners and a free safety and a strong safety in the backfield. Del Valle lines up the shotgun. 2 men on the bottom side of your screen in the I formation. As we've seen, the running back will likely come to either side of Jack Bill. Here comes the motion. Jet sweep is faked and it is handed off to the running back. Goes a lot horizontally, but only gets about 4 or 5 yards on the run.
Pat Garlinghouse on the carry. Corey Eggers on the tackle. A gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5 at the 32.
As the Del Valle student section. And pressure is brought, but it does not affect Jack Bill.
Jack Bill's pass is complete to Nick Patino.
Who unloads about a 7-yard pass for the first down. That is another Terriers first.
Del Valle 43-yard line after a gain of 6.
Gotta wonder, the Vikings really need a defensive stop here if they're gonna keep their heads in this game. They're down 25 now. It's an empty set. There comes the motion. Fakes the handoff, and Jack Bill takes him himself. Stuffed at the line for about a 2-yard gain.
Jack Bill on the keeper.
Appears there is commotion on the line, but the Terriers will keep the football.
Gain of 2.
2-yard gain sets up a 2nd and 8 for the Terriers.
So the Terriers are their own 45-yard line, and that will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Heading into the 4th.
As the 3rd quarter ends, and the teams go back to their respective sidelines.
Coming up, Del Valle. And let's take another opportunity to introduce you to the 2021 Voorhees cheerleaders. The freshmen, Destiny Pinot, Abigail Waycock, Tara Voorhees, and Evan Emmerich. Sophomores, Maggie Anderson, Elena Everly, Ainsley Mark, Carson Loescher, Sierra Lyons, Abigail Rapolo.
Appears the end of the 3rd quarter, the older Voorhees fans have begun to leave, but the student section still stays strong. I apologize, some might have heard that as only I said older.
The coaches are Kim Holthouse, Caitlin Collins, and Megan Farrell.
Terriers line up in the I formation. 2 men on the top of the screen, 1 man on the bottom. Jack Bill in the shotgun. Takes the pass, drops back to throw, unleashes a laser that is caught at the 30-yard line, about 10 yards after catch. Beautiful catch by Justin Colpin. And once again, the Terriers enter the red zone.
A gain of 36 for Voorhees 19-yard line. First and 10.
Once again, the I formation. Takes it against the ball. Misses a tackle, but there is a flag on the play, likely a Del Valle holding. And that will be a holding on the offense. And that will back the Terriers up about 10 yards. It will replay the down. It will be a 1st and 20 for the Terriers. Good. As I said, the Terriers have done very well tonight, but they have played a somewhat sloppy game. To my count now, 4 flags, 1 pass interference, 1 holding, and 2 offsides. That will set up a 1st and 20 for the Terriers. As Jack Bill is alone in the backfield. Unleashes a screen, but it falls incomplete. It's almost a fumble, but the ball did go about 1 yard forward, so it is an incomplete pass, to the dismay of a Voorhees player who jumped on it. Second and 22 for the Terriers. Sets up an interesting situation if the Terriers can't convert these two. They're a bit outside field goal range, as Jack Bill is alone in the backfield. He takes it for a quarterback run, jukes out. But sees significant Voorhees pressure as flags break all over the field. Another Delaware Valley holding, taking them comfortably outside of field goal range. Second down, as the Terriers begin to walk backwards. Terriers begin to walk back towards the 40-yard line, likely knowing what the call is. Up a second and 32 for the Terriers. Well, I apologize. That was not a 10-yard holding play. That was an unsportsmanlike conduct that will put the Terriers, instead of 10 yards back, 15 yards back, and 37. First down line is on the 10-yard line, and the Terriers are barely in Voorhees territory. As Jack Bill lines up behind the 50-yard line, faces pressure, and it is intercepted. It is intercepted. The ball is intercepted by number 22, Corey Edwards. Runs back a decent. There was no one in the area for Jack Bill. As Vikings pressure sets that up, the Vikings have very good running it back almost to the line of scrimmage and their own 48-yard line. As fortune brings back what few chances the Vikings still have. The cards certainly came out for them on that play. Will Letters lines up the I formation. Heavy set on the bottom of your screen and wide receivers. Mike Mosher moves to his left, drops back pass. Has all the time in the world, but has to look out for block. And he is sacked. About 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage. The offensive line held out for a couple seconds. Letters was unable to find an open receiver. Spotted on the 40-yard line, loss of 8 on the play. Sets up a 2nd and 18 for the Vikings. As Will Letters is in the shotgun again. Hands it off to Mike Mosher, and he is stuffed behind the line. For a 1-yard loss, and now the Vikings have a 3rd and 20. It appears now the Vikings are the team behind in the yardage game. If you're looking for Will Letters, you got to be looking for a deep pass right here. The receivers have shown the ability to get separation. If the offensive line holds out, Letters has a decent shot of unloading it for 20 yards needed for a first down. Letters takes the ball in the shotgun, drops back, unloads it short to Mike Mosier, who Vikings fans are clamoring for an unsportsmanlike conduct call, and there is a flag on the field for what appears to be a late hit by the Terriers, which will give the Vikings yet another automatic first. Be a late hit on the Terriers. Conduct, that is, as you know, 15 yards and an automatic Voorhees first down. And an automatic Voorhees first down. As fortune once again breathes a sign of life into the Vikings. The referee carries the ball into the Delaware zone on the 43-yard line.
And after the penalty,
The Vikings hustle up to the line. Letters in the shotgun, Mike Mosier to his right. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, and rushes for what appears to be a 4-yard gain with forward progress. Gain of 2, I apologize. So that'll set up a 2nd and 8 for the Vikings. Gain of 2, that will set up a first down for the Vikings. It's 1st and 10 for the Vikings. Thought that was, I don't know. Will Letters calls a kill on the play, moves on to his second play. Snaps the ball, drops back to pass. Receivers go deep. And he unloads a rocket to number 9, Justin D'Souza. He was wide open, and Will Letters hit him right in the chest, and he walks into the end zone. A beautiful rocket by Will Letters. Pending a Will Bell conversion here, this will turn the game into a 3-possession game. And it is up, and it goes straight through the uprights as the student section once again erupts for Will Bell. I apologize, Matt Bell. This is an 8 to... Seems that the Vikings have woken up in this second half. By no means getting rolled over such as they were in the first half. Barring a miracle, they will likely not pull out this game, but this is certainly something that Viking fans can look forward to. Look at the mental toughness of this team and the offensive efficacy of this team. Looks like Matt Bell will line up for an onside kick in an attempt to regain the ball. You know, it must go the 10 yards before the Vikings can jump on it. kick it, and it goes out of bounds. That will be a delay of game on Matt Bell. The ball will be placed on the 45-yard line. Ball placed, appears 10 yards beyond the spot of the foul at the 40-yard line. I apologize, at the 42-yard line for the Terriers in Vikings territory. This would be the time for the Vikings to come to the defensive stop. Now would be it. Vikings defense has shown flashes on first and second down. See if they can force a 3 and out now. The Terriers so far have scored on every one of their offensive drives. And there's a penalty flag on the field. And it appears to be an false start on the Terriers that will set them up for a 1st and 15. 5-yard penalty. As Jack Bill lines up, the I formation in the shotgun. He will hand the ball off, and he is quickly stuffed by the Voorhees defensive line. Terriers are in an interesting spot here. They have lots of yards to go, but they certainly would like to be able to use the run to further shave time off the clock. They have a comfortable lead, but the game is by no means over. In the backfield, he tackles it. And he is tackled 2 yards short of the line to gain. Set up a Terrier 3rd and 2. And this short yardage situations on 3rd down is where the Vikings have struggled in this game and given up really big plays. So let's see if they can hold stout here. Bill lines up in the shotgun, takes the ball, runs to the left, and he runs for the 1st down before going out of bounds at what appears to be the 30-yard line. Jack Bill lines up in the shotgun. 4 men on the Voorhees defensive line. And there is a flag on the play, as the Terriers unload for a touchdown, but there is a flag on the play, as number 77, Brad Van Netta on the Voorhees offensive line struggles to get up. It is offsides prior to the snap, so that will move the ball forward 5 yards. But no, it appears the ref was mistaken. It was a false start. So that will take the Delaware touchdown off the board. That will take the Delaware touchdown off the board, as they set up for a 1st and 15. Appears to be incorrectly called, as offsides was a false start after all. And that is a timeout for the Terriers. There are 6 minutes left in the game. The Vikings are down 18. This Terriers offensive drive has gone a little longer than the Vikings would have preferred. But once again, the Terriers' sloppy penalty play has set them up. Has set the Vikings up to hopefully force them to a third down. First and 15 for the Terriers. Jack Bill takes a snap, loads to the left for a screen, and it is a bit high. And number 7 is unable to corral it. That'll set up, the incomplete pass will set up a 2nd and 15 for the Terriers. Justin Colpin was unable to corral the pass. Jack Bill alone in the backfield on the 2nd and 15. As the motions, once again fakes the handoff and rushes to, depending on the spot of the ball, may or may not be first down, and they will spot it about, they will spot the ball about 2 yards short of the line to gain, which will once again, for the Terriers, set up a 3rd and short. 3rd and 2 to be specific. 3rd and 3, I apologize. Now, if you're the Vikings, you absolutely need to get a stop here, as the clock is still running with Jack Bill in the high formation. Heavy offensive line for the Terriers. And he hands it off. And he will make it past the line to gain for a first down. As the grounds crew moves the chains. As it takes 3 Vikings to take him down. The Delaware student section unloads a little bit of ribbing at the Vikings' expense. First and 10, Delaware. Bill takes the snap. He will hand it off. And he takes a bit, but he is tackled. About 1 or 2 yard gain for the Terriers. That sets up a 2nd down. 2nd and 9. As the Terriers just keeping the ball on the ground, trying to run out the clock as much as they can. One thing you got to be impressed is that the Vikings have stopped the Terriers for this long on this drive. And he takes the snap, takes the handoff, rolls out, little bootleg pass to the left, and a monster tackle will take him down, but he will, it appears, get the first down. So I was saying, you got to be impressed by the Voorhees' ability to keep the Terriers out of the end zone for this long. It certainly seems in the second half, the Vikings have played as the better team, and their defense certainly seems to have stiffened up. That, of course, was aided by a good deal of Delaware penalties, but it is notable nonetheless. As Jack Bell lines up the shotgun, one receiver deep, and he hands it off, and he is pushed back away from the end zone as he is stopped. Set up a 2nd and goal for the Terriers. Appears to be on the 1 yard line. Terriers have 3 downs to get this ball in. They will likely just stuff it up the middle. I am quite frankly surprised that Jack Bill is still lining up in the shotgun. As they predictably hand it off. And he is stopped at the line. And even loses a couple yards. And with forward progress, it will be spotted again at the 1 yard line. It's 3rd and goal for the Terriers. Got to be impressed with the Vikings' performance in the second half. They have outscored the Terriers for the time being. It appears that their mental toughness is still, it appears, high. He takes the snap, runs to the left, and he is it appears, stopped short. Not only stopped short, it appears he has fumbled the ball to the Voorhees Vikings. A wonderful goal line stand for Voorhees defense, eventually securing the turnover. Beautiful defensive effort by the Vikings. And a beautiful bout of mental toughness for the Vikings.
And it'll be Voorhees ball following the turnover at their own.
Oh, I apologize. It seems that they did not fumble to the Vikings. They fumbled it into the end zone where it subsequently went out of bounds, which, in a quite frankly obscure and bizarre rule, gives the Vikings a touchback and the ball on their 20-yard line. Touchback. As Will Letters will receive the ball, he drops back to pass. Receivers go deep. He dodges one tackle. And he makes it about 5 yards past the line of scrimmage on a good quarterback scramble by Will Letters. For the Vikings for this drive, really are just trying to get a touchdown to close the game out and end the game on a high note. And they have to this point ended the second half on a high note. They played much, much better, and they seem to be a new team. They are rolling on offense. Letters dodges a tackle, and the ball is thrown out of bounds. That sets up a 3rd and 5 for the Vikings. And Will Letters lines up in the backfield. Mike Mosier lining up in the backfield too. Letters in the shotgun. Takes the ball, a bit of a high snap. Fakes the handoff and runs it himself. The offensive line, in a stunning degree of strength, does push him over the line to gain. And that will be a Voorhees first down. As the clock continues rolling, there are 50 seconds left on the game. Letters sees the snap, drops back to pass, dodges a sack attempt, and runs out of bounds with about a 3-yard gain. The Letters has shown seems to be adept at scrambling, but Voorhees wide receivers who intend on scoring before the game is over do need to get open. So it is good to get out of bounds and stop the clock, and it is good to get 2 or 3 yards, but at this juncture it seems a bit Letters in the backfield, takes a snap. Delaware brings pressure, and he throws an incomplete pass intended for Mike Mosier. But the screen pass falls incomplete. That will set up a 3rd and 10 for the Vikings. 35 seconds left in the game. That is enough. If the Terriers receive a punt after this game, that will be enough to line up in victory formation and ice the game. And the Vikings will call a timeout. I've said it before, I'll say it again. You have to be impressed with the Vikings' effort. To be impressed with the Vikings' effort in the second half. They have certainly been the better team on the field in the second half, but unfortunately they fell too far behind in the first half. Be able to score 2 touchdowns in the second half, and their defense has gotten their first stop of the game and shown a much more stout line than they had showed in the first half. And for Voorhees fans, that is certainly not nothing. Letters receive the snap. Wide receivers go deep. Delaware brings pressure. Oh! And while being tackled, Letters makes a good throw, but it falls barely incomplete to Justin Wistuba. That was a bit of a high ball by Will Letters, but nonetheless a good throw given the circumstances and the fact that it's literally in the air. A good presence of mind to unload it to Wistuba. Letters lines up for the 4th and 8. Takes the snap. Good amount of time, and the ball falls incomplete. And that is a turnover on downs. The Terriers will likely come out in victory formation with 23 seconds left in the game. They will ice the game. Next up for your Vikings, they have an away game next week at North Plainfield. We will be unable to cover that, but then next week, the Vikings will be back on VHSTV. North Plainfield game should be competitive. This is a team that Delaware beat by a much larger margin than they are currently beating the Vikings last week. And the Vikings have shown good signs in the second half to take into next week. Vikings will fall to 1-2 on the year. Terriers will remain undefeated at 3-0. Something to be proud of the Vikings. Terriers scored an average of 3 points on the game, on the year in this young season. The Vikings have at least kept them below that number. So again, that's not nothing. As both teams walk off the field and shake hands. It was a well-fought game by the Vikings. And they have important things to bring into next week.
The Vikings will head to Hillside for Saturday afternoon on September 20th. Kickoff is set for 1 p.m.
All right.
They will be home.
All right, awesome. What do you need me to do?
October 1st to take on North Plainfield.
All right, cool. Yeah, I got you.
Kickoff is scheduled for